Good afternoon, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
All right, let us start then. I hope you guys did some reading yesterday or revised something from yesterday's session. So we'll do a quick revision within 2-3 minutes. Okay, and then we can start with today's concept. Okay, so yesterday we started with GST, goods and services tax. Okay, you can see the screen also, na, that I've shared.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we started with goods and services tax. The main concept of GST is levied on what? GST is charged on what? Section 7. What is the concept? GST is charged on
Supply.
Supply, right? Supply of goods and services. Supply of goods and services. So yesterday's whole session we focused on the concept of supply, right? So what is a supply? What is considered as supply? That we studied yesterday. So today what we are going to do, once we know whether it is a supply or not, now we'll calculate value of supply, right? So see, step 1, whenever I am doing GST, step 1 is I'll see whether there is supply or not, whether there is supply or not. Correct? Step 2, if there is no supply, then my job is easy. If there is no supply, no GST. Correct? But if the transaction amounts to supply, step 2 is calculate. So here you will have the numericals. Calculate value of supply. Correct? And once you calculate value of supply, apply the GST rate. Apply the GST rate. Okay, and calculate the GST payable. GST payable. This is how people do it in the real life also. Okay, step 1 is see whether there is supply or not. If there is no supply, no GST. If the transaction amounts to supply, then calculate the value of supply. So for that we'll study how to calculate value. Okay, once you calculate the value, apply the GST rate. Okay, the rate depend upon the time. Okay, because GST is an indirect tax. Indirect tax keeps on changing. Correct? Indirect taxes keeps on changing. So the time of supply becomes important. The rate of GST will depend upon the time. Okay, and once you know the rate, once you know the value and rate, GST payable will be what? GST payable will be value into rate. GST payable will be value into rate. Understood what we are doing logically, step by step?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yesterday we focused on step 1, whether there is supply or not. Section 7, we talked about supply. We discussed that in detail. We have discussed everything in detail. So there were 6 conditions. There were 6 conditions that should be satisfied. To treat a transaction as supply. Tell me quickly. Condition 1.
Goods and services.
Correct. Supply should be of goods and services. What all does not come under goods and services? Tell me that also.
Money and securities and petroleum, electricity and alcohol.
Okay, so goods and services except, okay, all movable property, right? It will include all movable property, but goods and services specifically excludes, I'll write. Goods and services specifically excludes 4 things. Number 1, your money and securities, right? Money and securities. Number 2, alcohol. Number 3, petroleum, and number 4, electricity. That was the first condition. Supply should be of goods. Condition number 1. What was condition number 2?
So supply should be for the furtherance of business.
Correct. Good. Supply, SS will denote supply. SS will denote supply. Supply should be for furtherance of business. For furtherance of business. Okay. It should not be for purpose, not for personal purpose. Not for personal purpose. Okay. It should always be for furtherance of business. I'll take one more example. I'll take one more example because someone was having a doubt in furtherance of business. So I'll give one more example to clarify this. So let us say that I am a person who is engaged in business of providing consultancy. Okay, so I am a chartered accountant. My main business is providing consultancy. Okay, now I am going to sell a second-hand car. I have a car with me and I want to sell it for second-hand. So I sell that car to Aditya. I am selling my car to Aditya for, let us say, 2 lakh rupees. Should I collect GST on 2 lakh? Is it for the furtherance of business? As a chartered accountant, am I into trading
No,
of
sir.
cars? No,
No,
I
sir.
am not into the trading of cars. Na? In this concept, I am selling goods, right? I am selling goods, but I am not selling it for the furtherance of business. I'll have to see what is my business. My business is giving consultancy. My business is not selling cars. So even if I sell a second-hand car, okay, all documentation is legit. Okay, all documentation is legit. I go to the RTO, I do everything, and I sell the car to Aditya for 2 lakh rupees. I will still not collect GST because it is not for the furtherance of my business. Okay. I hope this makes it more clear. Next, third condition. Tell me third condition. Supply should be for
Consideration.
consideration. Consideration can be what? 2 types of consideration we saw yesterday.
Monetary and non-monetary. So
Correct.
non-monetary
Can
is in kind.
It can be both monetary and non-monetary. Okay. Even if it is a non-monetary consideration, okay, I am supplying goods and I am taking services. Instead of taking money, I am taking additional goods or I am taking additional services. Okay. So even then it will be supply. Even then it will be supply. All right. Then we had some exceptions. We will not go into the details of that. Okay. Number 4. What is the fourth condition?
Taxable territory.
Correct. Supply should be in taxable territory. Okay. So we saw that also. What is taxable territory? For that we saw the definition of taxable territory. So for India, India means all Indian states and union territories, Indian land, and it will also include Indian territorial waters up to 12 nautical miles. Okay. Number 5. Condition number 5.
So supply should be to a taxable person.
Correct.
Supply should be a taxable person.
Correct. Supply should be to a taxable person. Okay. Different taxable person. Different taxable person. Okay. If supply is not to a taxable person, okay, then it will not be charged under GST. All right. So the example of employer and employee we took. Okay. The example of partnership firm and partner we took. Okay. So it should be to a distinct person. Partners providing service to partnership firm, they are the same person. Okay. Employees providing services to employer, they are the same person. So supply should be to a different taxable person. And what is the next condition? Supply should be
A taxable supply.
a taxable supply. What is a taxable supply is not defined, right? But they have given a negative list. Whatever comes under negative list is not a taxable supply. Whatever comes under negative list, we have seen that in detail yesterday. I have given it in the chart form also. So whatever does not come in the negative list will be a taxable supply. Okay. So it should not come under negative list. Can you give me a couple of examples of negative list? If you guys remember.
Funeral service.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Funeral services.
Funeral service, then services by MLAs, MPs, service provided by court, service provided by panchayat. Correct. Again, employees also covered under that. So all those come under negative list. So those will not be treated as supply. Okay. Otherwise, everything will be considered as supply. All right. So now we know what is the concept of supply. So step 1 is done. Yesterday we completely focused on step 1, whether there is supply or not. Okay. If all 6 conditions are satisfied, then only there will be supply. So now today we'll go to step 2. Today I'm teaching in this thing, Excel, because we need some calculations. So calculations are not Excel based. The calculations are not Excel based. For me to do the calculations easily, I'm teaching it on Excel. Okay. So step 2, what was step 2? Once you know there is a supply, what is step 2?
Value in the supply.
Correct. Calculate value of supply. Okay. Because unless you know the value, I cannot pay tax. Na? If I know the value is 1 lakh, I can pay tax on 1 lakh, right? So calculating the value of supply becomes important. Very easy. This is a very easy concept. This is a very logical concept. Okay. So example, I'll take an example. Let us say, whose example I can take? I can see Alina on the screen. So Alina is a manufacturer. Okay. And she is supplying goods to, I can see Sarika also on the screen. Sarika, a retail trader. Okay. The price of goods is 100,000 or 10,000. The price of actual goods is 10,000. Okay. Then let us say freight. Do you guys know what is the freight? Freight charges is 2,000. Yes. Someone tell me what is freight charge? Sorry.
Transportation charges.
Transportation charges, it's similar to transportation charges. Okay, but it is a kind of a duty, right? It is kind of a duty. So it is payable to the government, freight charges. Okay, then I'll say transit insurance from Alina's factory to Sarika's shop, right? Transit insurance is, let us say, 3,000. Okay, and discount is, let us say, 2%. Okay, so what is the value of supply in case, and let us say the GST rate is 18%, right? So now for Sarika to pay GST to Alina, we need to know the value of supply and we need to know the rate, right? So what Sarika will say? Sarika will say, prepare a tax invoice. Prepare a tax invoice and give it to me. Okay. Don't give me a kacha bill. Okay. Don't give me a normal bill on a paper. I need a tax invoice. I need specific details of what all you are charging to me. Right. So should Sarika pay tax on 10,000 or what should be the value? What do you guys think?
You add up freight and insurance, and then you deduct the discount, and then you charge GST on it.
Okay, so price, I'll take price 10,000. Everyone agrees price has to be taken. Price of goods. Should I add freight?
Yes.
I'll add freight. I'll add the insurance also. Okay, 3,000 means I'll add the basic cost of goods, basic cost of either goods or services. Okay, and these freight insurance, these are incidental cost. Attention, what I'm calling them. These are incidental expenses to delivery of goods to the customer. So whatever incidental, whatever extra charges I need to bear as a supplier, I need to bear up to which point? Up to the delivery of goods at the door of the retail trader, at the door of my customer. So for Alina, whatever cost she incurs up to delivery of the goods to Sarika, all those incidental expenses I'll have to add up. So freight I can add, right? This also I can add incidental expenses. Okay, and then less I'll have to do discount. Discount is how much? Discount is 2%. 2% of which value? Should I take 10,000 or should I take 15,000?
The basic price, 10,000.
Basic price. Good. I'll take 2% of basic price. Don't take 2% of this entire value. Don't take 2% of this entire value. Okay, so 2% of only the basic value, 200 will be deducted. This will be deducted, right? My value of goods will be, so I'll call this value as taxable value. My taxable value will be the total sum of all of these, because I already written the discount in negative. 14,800. So when Alina gives a tax invoice to Sarika, what she will write? She will write the taxable value as 14,800, okay, and GST at 18%. So should I show GST at 18% or should I bifurcate it? Let us say Alina and Sarika are both from, I don't know which states you are from. Okay, so I'll take a random state, Kerala. Both are from Kerala.
Yeah, it's true. We are both of
It's true, ma'am.
Okay, both are from Kerala. So now see guys, we have done this. That if both are from Kerala, which GST or which GSTs should I charge?
SGST and CGST.
Correct, because it is within the same state. Both are within the same state. So instead of showing GST at 18%, what will I show? CGST at 9% and SGST at again 9%. So this will be 14,800 into 9% and 14,800 into 9%. So total comes out to 18%. So total GST comes out to 18%, but it will be shown as CGST, SGST, and the final amount, correct? Final amount that Sarika will pay, amount payable by Sarika. Amount payable by Sarika will be what? 14,800 plus these two amounts. This is what your tax invoice will look like. If you understood, everyone, the example that I have taken.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what all we are including? What is the concept? We will include the basic cost of goods or services, and also will include all incidental expenses up to the delivery of goods to the customer. After delivery, we'll not include that in our tax invoice. We'll have to give separate tax invoice for that. We'll have to give separate tax invoice for that. Okay, it will not be included in the current tax invoice. It will not be included in the taxable value of goods. See if this is clear. The whole example is clear now? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let us understand the concept. Any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? Let me know. Now let us understand the concept that in taxable, while calculating taxable value, okay, while calculating taxable value, okay, what to consider, okay, and what to ignore, what to completely ignore. Okay, so I am not telling you what to add and what to less, what to add and what to deduct. We will see that. Okay, when I say what to ignore, you just ignore it in your question. Okay, you just ignore it from your question, just leave it aside, and when I say what to consider means what to adjust. So adjust can be add or less. Let us write this list down then. This will be the entire concept of taxable value. Okay, this will be the entire concept of taxable value. Understood now what I'm saying? When I say what to ignore means what? You will just ignore it in your calculation. You will neither add, you will not deduct, you will just skip that. And when I say what to consider means what? You will have to actually adjust it. You will have to either add it or you will have to deduct it. Okay. So now I'll tell an item, you tell me whether I have to consider or I have to ignore. Okay, while calculating taxable value. So first is basic cost of goods and service.
Yes.
Sir,
Consider, obviously, otherwise on what basis I'll charge GST, right? So basic cost of goods and services, obviously I will consider. No problem. All right. Now the next part also we have done. Incidental charges. Till what point?
So
point of delivery.
To delivery.
Correct. Good. Till delivery of goods is completed. incidental charges till the delivery of goods, that also I'll consider. Okay, now the next thing, so I'll start with basic cost and I'll add incidental charges. Everyone agrees till here? Okay, next. Now what to ignore and what to consider. Next example I'll give is discount. Should we consider, that is, should we adjust discount or we should just ignore discount?
Adjust the discount.
We'll adjust the discount, but now see here guys, discount has a condition. If discount is given before or at time of delivery, okay, then only we'll consider the discount. All right, and also, correct, so discount has some conditions, discount has some condition, and also discount should be recorded on the invoice. It should be recorded on invoice. If it is just given as a trade discount, okay, if it is just given as a book adjustment, it happens sometimes. If I'm a regular customer, what I'll say, you give 5% discount to all your customers. Okay, you give 5% discount to all your customers. I am a regular customer, I need 2% extra discount. Now this 2% extra discount is not shown on the value, right? It is not shown in the invoice. It is a trade discount, correct? So that trade discount I will ignore. Okay, I am only going to adjust. Adjust means what? Discount will be deducted. I'm only going to adjust discount which is given before or at time of delivery, and the important part is that discount should be recorded on the invoice.
So that means it's the cash discount, right? Like which
It's a
we will
cash
adjust.
discount, right? It's the cash discount. Okay, so what to ignore? What to ignore? Discount given after delivery will be ignored. Okay, you will not take that in the taxable value, you will just ignore it. Okay, and discount which is not recorded on invoice, or in simple terms I'll say trade discount. Example, trade discount or book adjustment. Okay, when you are a regular customer, what do? People just do book adjustment, right? That remaining figure they will not show as bad debt, they will show as a discount. That is a book adjustment. Okay, so these type of discounts I will not consider. I'll just ignore them. Okay, I'll neither add nor I will deduct. So if this whole concept of discount is clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Any doubt in discount? And when I say consider means you will deduct it. You will deduct it because discount is always deducted from the value. Okay, next. What about taxes? Should I add taxes in the invoice value? Should I consider taxes such as import duty, GST? Should I consider them or should I ignore them?
So if it is, incurred while before the delivery, then maybe like freight. Or such.
Okay. No. The concept is, for example, I cannot add GST because what I'm going to do is I'm going to already charge GST on the taxable value, correct? So I'll take into consideration all taxes other than GST. All taxes other than GST I'll consider, and GST, the actual GST, I'll totally ignore from the taxable value. So for in our example of Alina and Sarika, let us say Alina has already purchased the goods of 10,000 and she has paid GST to someone. Right? And now she is selling this 10,000 wala goods further to Sarika. So in this case, so let us say Alina has paid 10,000 to purchase raw material, and paid GST of 18%, that is 1,800, right? So cost of goods to Alina is how much? Cost of goods to Alina is how much? 11,800. Cost of goods to Alina is 11,800, and these goods Alina is selling further to Sarika, correct? So in that case, what is going to happen? We are only going to consider the purchase cost and we are not going to consider the GST part. So GST part will be ignored, and any taxes other than that, example, other taxes such as, let us say, octroi is 2,000 rupees. Okay, freight is, let us say, 1,000 rupees. So these are also taxes. Correct? So our taxable value will only consider basic cost and taxes other than GST. So when Alina makes a tax invoice to Sarika, we'll take basic cost, we'll take incidental charges, and we'll take all taxes other than GST. And GST will be totally ignored while making the taxable invoice. See if this example is clear.
So, but why are you doing like ignoring GST for
Because then what will happen? GST will,
Recounting.
because then GST will be charged on GST, double taxation. So I don't want that.
But we are taking 10,000 as a basic cost, right? So,
So I'll take basic cost of 10,000, right? I'll take basic cost of 10,000. I'll take octroi of 2,000. I'll take freight of 1,000. I'll take all these charges. Okay. So your total cost, the cost that I charge. So for example, if the cost of goods is 11,800 plus profit, 11,800 plus profit, correct? Profit of, let us say, 2,200, right? And Alina has charged a total cost of what? Total cost of 11,800 plus 2,200. So Alina has charged 14,000 as the basic cost, correct? So what you can do is you can take GST, but then while calculating the actual GST rate, you will have to take inclusive of GST amounts. So that's why it is always better to show it separately. In the tax invoice, it is always better to show it separately. We'll see when the question comes now, we'll see that. So you just have to remember that when you calculate taxable value, you take all taxes other than GST, and if any GST is given, you'll just ignore it while calculating taxable value. Because the concept is GST cannot be charged on a value inclusive of GST. That is the whole concept. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next. See, because what the government is giving, like we did yesterday, if you guys remember, input tax credit. What was input tax credit? In the last part.
we take whatever proceeds we get from the sale, we put it, we adjust it with the purchase, and we pay the remaining amount to the government.
Correct. Output GST means GST collected from our customer, correct? And input GST was GST paid to our raw material supplier, right? So whatever output GST you collect, I'll deduct input GST and I'll get input tax credit. So government is already giving you this benefit, right? Government is already giving you the benefit of ITC, input tax credit. So that's why while calculating taxable value, you will have to show cost separately, taxes separately, and GST separately. That's the logic. We'll be doing this input tax credit in detail. Yes, go ahead. Dongyung, do you have any doubt? Okay, I'll just mute him. All right, let us see the next thing. So now what to consider? All taxes other than GST you have to consider, and GST you have to just ignore while calculating taxable value. Okay, it will be again treated separately in input tax credit. Okay, that is another chapter. ITC is another chapter. We'll see that separately. Okay, till here, no doubt, guys. No doubt till here.
No, sir.
Okay. Next concept is the concept of subsidy. What do you mean by subsidy? Benefit. Subsidy means benefit. So this subsidy for a raw material, for a manufacturer can get subsidy from government. Okay, and subsidy can also be from non-government institutes. Okay, or let us say companies. Anyone apart from government. Okay, so subsidy from government is a benefit derived from the government. So while calculating taxable value, I just ignore subsidy from government because it is a benefit. It is a benefit. It cannot be taxed. It is a benefit received from the government, right? It is a benefit received from the government. It cannot be taxed. So while calculating taxable value, I'll just ignore subsidy from the government. I'll neither add it nor I will deduct it. But subsidy received from others, subsidy received from anyone other than government, will have to be considered, will have to be added in the taxable value. Okay, subsidy is a benefit, right? So your actual cost is deducted because of subsidy. Your actual cost is reduced because of subsidy. Okay, so if your actual cost is reduced, tax will reduce. That's why government says if government is of subsidy, if subsidy is from the government, we will ignore it. We'll ignore it from taxable value, but all other subsidies you will have to add them to the taxable value, so that it shows true and fair view without subsidy. So that it shows actual values. It shows actual value without subsidy. If you are clear till here, what to consider and what to ignore? Yes or no?
So, but subsidy received from others is also benefit, right?
Correct. So for example, I'll give a simple example of subsidy. Okay, so I'm a manufacturer. My manufacturer actual cost of goods is 1 lakh. I have manufactured goods worth rupees 1 lakh. Okay, I have received subsidy from, let us say, a venture capitalist. A venture capitalist is giving me subsidiary. Okay, and that subsidiary amount is, let us say, 60,000 rupees subsidy I have received. Right? So now, if this subsidy was not received, what would have been the value of goods? 1 lakh, correct? And what will be tax payable to the government?
1 lakh into 18%.
Right? Let us assume GST is 18%. Okay, so tax payable to the government will be 1 lakh into 18%. Tax payable to the government was 18,000. Correct? Because again, GST is on goods and services. GST is on goods and services. Value of goods was supposed to be 1 lakh, but because of subsidy from a random guy, your value has come out to be what? Your value has come out to be 40,000. So if you pay tax on 40,000, government will receive only 7,200 tax. So government says if you receive subsidy from any random person other than government, even if the actual cost of the goods has reduced by 60,000, actual cost of the goods has become 40,000, right? Actual cost of goods has become 40,000, right? Still, the value of goods is what? The value of goods is still not 40,000. You are getting goods worth 1 lakh, right? You are getting goods worth 1 lakh for 40,000. So value of goods is 1 lakh. It is not 40,000. So I want to tax on the entire 1 lakh. So that's why subsidy will be what? Subsidy will be added. Subsidy received from anyone other than government will be added. See if the logic is clear.
Yes, sir.
So in short, it is add back subsidy, right? In short, it is add back the subsidy which was deducted. But I just say add. Okay, because our GST is on the supply of goods, not on the actual cost, right? It is on goods, value of goods. I want to know the true value of goods. Understood? Any doubt till here, guys? You will be expecting practical questions on this, huh? That's why I'm giving a list. I'm giving a list. When you read a question, you just ignore these. You just ignore all these, right? And you will adjust. Adjust means add or less all of these and get the taxable value. And for every point, I'm giving you the logic. For every point, I'm giving you the logic. Done? Okay, next. Next concept is, what about, let us say, interest or late fee for customer. So Alina was selling goods to Sarika, and Alina said, you need to pay me within 30 days. Okay, if you pay me after 30 days, I will charge you late fee. So should that late fee be included in the value of goods or not?
So no, because it's not incidental.
No, still it will be considered, because it will be, why Alina is charging late fee, because Alina had taken so much effort to manufacture and supply goods on time. So she's expecting her payment within 1 month. If Sarika is delaying, then you are to consider time value of money also in the value of goods. So interest, fees and penalties, okay, they are charged for what? They are generally charged for late payment. They are generally charged for late payment. So they are adjusted for time value of money. They are adjusted as a time value of money. That's why we have to adjust them in the value. We'll have to add them. We'll have to add them in the value. Your taxable value will increase. Your taxable value will increase. So for example, the goods which are worth 10,000 today in 2020, sorry, in 2022, will it be same value? Will it be same value in 2023? No, no.
No, sir.
Correct. So that's why government says, if interest, fees or penalties are charged by supplier to the customer, that will also be added in the value of goods. But now guys, pay attention. Huh? Alina and Sarika, they had discussed that if the payment is after 1 month, okay, Alina will charge all her customers late fee, right? But Alina and Sarika both are from Kerala. So Alina says, okay, I'll waive off your interest and late fees. Whatever interest and late fees you are supposed to pay me, I'll waive them off. I'll not collect them now. So interest or any fees waived off. Waived off means what? It is not actually paid. It is not actually cost. So if it is waived off, then we'll just ignore them. Only if it is charged, only if it is collected from Sarika, then only we will take them. Any interest or late fees which are waived off, which are what I can say, ignored by the supplier, we will also ignore in our calculation. Understood what to ignore and what to consider?
Sir,
Go ahead.
so like how will we charge for this late penalties? Like we're not certain, right, that they might pay before 30 days or they might not.
Then the invoice is prepared conditional invoice. See what happens is I raise an invoice, correct? We'll study that today in time of supply. The supplier raises an invoice, correct? And then customer makes the payment. Customer makes the payment, correct? And this invoice will have what? Terms and conditions, right? So even if in the invoice the actual interest and late fee is not in the invoice, GST value will it will get updated. GST value will get updated, and we'll have to show value inclusive of interest, fees, and penalties.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And last is a bit tricky to understand. So I'll write it down first. Okay. And then you guys see if you are understanding it or not. This is what this has been included by the government so that people do not evade taxes. Huh? So third party payments made by recipient of the goods. This is a bit important to understand, guys. This is a good, what can I say? This is a good section. This is a good clause that the government has inserted in the concept of taxable value, so that there is no evasion of tax. Now let me take an example, and then we'll see whether you are understanding this. Okay. So same example of Alina and Sarika. Okay. So Sarika wanted to purchase goods from Alina. Same example we are taking, right? But Sarika says, I will provide raw material worth 40,000 rupees. Okay. Then what you do? Then Alina should process these goods, okay, in her factory, and send finished goods to Sarika again. Okay, this was the let us say contract between them, right? So raw material supplied by Sarika is how much? Sarika is 40,000. Raw material supplied by Sarika is 40,000, and actual fees charged by Alina. Actual fees charged by Alina for processing, right? Actual fees and let us say profits. Actual process cost and profit charged by Alina is, let us say, 20,000. So now you guys tell me, in the invoice prepared by Alina, right? How much is Alina asking from Sarika? How much should be the bill that Alina sends to Sarika? Should it be 40,000 or should it be 20,000?
20.
Everyone agrees? Sarika will only pay additional 20,000 to Alina. Everyone agrees? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us say GST rate is 18%. On what amount should Alina collect GST? Should she collect GST on 20,000? Should she collect GST on 40,000? Should she collect GST on 60,000?
60,000.
Perfect. Because see, again, GST is on value of goods. Now, even though Alina is just processing the goods, the actual value of finished goods is how much? Market value of finished goods is 60,000. And from that 60,000, 40,000 is already been supplied by Sarika. Doesn't matter. Government says it doesn't matter. Okay. Even though the actual bill charged by Alina to Sarika is only worth 20,000, but the value of goods is not 20,000. Value of goods is 60,000. Then Sarika will say, but for that 40,000, I am only supplying. I am just supplying it to her. She is processing it and she is returning me those goods. Government says no. Whatever payments you have made as a recipient of goods, even on the raw material that you have supplied, we will consider it in the value of goods. So GST rate that Alina will collect from Sarika will not be 18% on 20,000. It will be 18% on value of goods. 18% on 60,000. See if you understood this example.
So,
Huh.
so the raw materials which Sarika supplied of rupees 40,000,
Hmm.
she might have already paid GST, no, when she
Ah,
had
so
bought
then what will happen? She will get the this thing, na? She will get the credit. She will get the credit later on when she submits her GST returns.
Okay.
Correct. So Sarika is not going to pay GST twice over here now. Okay. So she is already paid GST on 40,000 and she is going to pay GST at 18% on 60,000 entire amount. Correct. But when she submits her returns, government is going to give her input tax credit. Government will give the credit. Okay. But right now, when the invoice is made by Alina, Alina will collect GST on the entire 60,000 and not just on the 40,000. Oh, sorry, not just on the 20,000. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this was a very, what can I say, controversial decision that the government took. Okay, and people said that this is wrong, that we are only supplying goods of 40,000, right? And the processor or the manufacturer is only doing a processing of 20,000. So the actual GST should have been collected on 20,000. No, we will collect GST on value of goods. Okay, we'll collect GST on value of goods because value of finished goods, the market value of finished goods is not 20,000. The market value of finished goods is 60,000. Okay, so Alina collects GST on 60,000 and not on just 20,000. See if
So-
this entire concept is clear. Yes, Gauri.
So when Sarika is sending raw material worth 40,000, so she will not collect GST on that amount from.
No, she will not, because she's just sending it. Na? She's just sending it for process. Right? She's just sending it for process. Right? Then Sarika will not collect GST from Alina. Okay, because here the supply has not happened. Na? Here the supply has not happened. Okay. Sarika is saying, I am sending you goods worth 40,000. You just process them and send it back to me. So Sarika is going to receive those goods back. Sarika is going to receive those goods back. So that is not effectively a supply. So Sarika will just send 40,000 and she will not collect GST. All doubts clear in this last example? This is a very, very important clause. Huh? This is a very important clause in GST. See if you understood this last example of third party payment made by recipient of the goods, the person who is going to receive the goods, whatever payment is made by that person will also be included in the invoice value, will also be included in the invoice value. Any doubt in this example, guys? If there is doubt, let me know, I can explain.
Sir,
Ah.
the example is fine, but can you just explain third-party payments made by recipient here? Who is the recipient in the example?
In the example, Sarika is the recipient of the goods. Na? Alina is going to give the goods to Sarika. But what Sarika said, that don't give me the finished goods. I'll supply you the raw material. You just process and give me the finished goods. So who is a recipient of the finished goods? Sarika is the recipient of the finished goods. And Sarika is still making payments for what? Raw material. So those payments should also be included. Those payments should also be included, right? Okay, so this was a very controversial clause. People opposed this section. People opposed this amendment, but government said you will have to pay on 60,000 and then the credit we will give later on. Credit will give later on. We'll give the benefit later on to Sarika, but not right now. Sarika has to pay GST on entire 60,000, even though out of 60,000, 40,000 was her own raw material. Still, she will have to pay GST on 60,000. Done?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing, what to consider and what to ignore. What to consider and what to ignore. Let us do a couple of questions on this taxable value. All right. Can you see this question on the screen that I open up on the screen? Can you see this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you guys want to take a screenshot of this? What to consider and what to ignore? It will be needed. It will be needed when we do the calculation. All these will be needed. Okay, and all these will be completely ignored. Will be completely ignored. Okay, let us do it. Let us do one question. So these type of questions will come in your section C. Theoretical, practical part, numerical questions. Numerical questions. You guys want to try it on your own?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do it then. Try this question on your own. Calculate the taxable value. GST rate is not given. So just tell me the taxable value. Okay, just tell me the taxable value. Very easy. This will be a 6 to 7 marks question. 6 to 7 marks question. Manushri, I can't hear you properly. Your voice is too low. Too low.
I just wanted to know that for the semester exams, what was the paper pattern?
Okay, paper pattern will be similar to your ACCA paper pattern. Okay, that is what I was being told, but I'm just confirming it with your college. Okay, I'm just confirming it with your college. So college said that 60% will be MCQs, 40% will be practical, but they are thinking of giving 40% MCQ and 60% practical. So I'll just confirm that within a couple of days.
So that's just for ACCA students. The normal BCom people have to write for 60 marks.
Right. Normal BCom students. No. Everyone will have to write for entire 100 marks. Then it will be broken down to 60 marks. Na?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
I'll
sir.
just confirm that with the colleges. Okay. I'll just confirm that with the college that for BCom, what is the paper pattern? For ACCA, what is the paper pattern? Okay. Any which way, syllabus is the same. Right. Syllabus is the same. So both students, ACCA students and BCom students, both have to do the same syllabus. Okay. Try this, guys. Try this. Yes, what is the taxable value?
So here weighman charges, are they those third-party payments?
Correct. Because they are paid by the recipient of the goods. No? They are paid by the recipient of the goods to third party. So that also will include. All right. I'll just drag this question on the Excel sheet. Okay. This is visible now, guys, clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us do it then. Let us do this question. Shri Krishna Private Limited, a registered supplier. So Krishna is the supplier, furnishes the following information related to goods sold by it to Balram. So Balram is the recipient of the goods. So in short, Krishna is the seller, Balram is the buyer. Price of the goods, excluding taxes and other charges. So obviously we want prices, right? We want to start with price. So I'll write here calculation of taxable value of the goods, calculation of taxable value of goods. And I'll start with what? I'll start with number one, price of the goods. It is already exclusive of taxes, right? Price of the goods is already exclusive of taxes. So I'll take as it is 1 lakh, no problem. Okay. Second, municipal tax. Should I consider municipal tax or should I ignore municipal tax?
Should be considered, sir.
Correct, because all taxes other than GST will be considered. So municipal tax will be considered 2000. Third, inspection charges. Does inspection charges happen after delivery or before delivery?
So pre-delivery.
Pre-delivery. So should we add pre-delivery charges?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, inspection charges will be added 15,000. Subsidy received from Shri Ram Trust. Subsidy is directly linked to the goods supplied. Subsidy, is it Shri Ram Trust? Does it look like government subsidy?
No, sir.
No. So subsidy from non-government subsidy should be added. So 50,000 will be added. All right. No problem till here. Then late fees for delayed payment inclusive of GST. Shri Balram Private Limited paid the late fees. However, these charges were ultimately waived by Shri Krishna and the amount was refunded to Shri Balram. Should I consider or ignore?
Ignore.
I will ignore it. I'll ignore it. Correct. So interest waived off. And if you are ignoring it, just write not applicable. Right? If you are ignoring it, just write not applicable. All right. And last, sixth, weightement charges. Let us read what they have given about weightement charges. Such charges were paid by Balram. Balram is the recipient of the goods. To Radhe. Radhe is someone else only. Right? So Krishna is the seller. Balram is the buyer, recipient. And Radhe Private Limited is someone else. So Radhe Private Limited is the third party. So can I say this is the last part? Third party payments made by recipient of the goods.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So you can write it over here. Third party in bracket. You can write the explanation. Third party payment made by recipient. You'll have to give the explanation. You'll have to give the explanation. Even though buyer is paying for it, why we are charging it in the taxable value? So 2000. So my total taxable value, we are studying in section 15, okay? Is the sum of all of them.
1,69,000.
Done. That's the taxable value. Easy. If you understood what all I have included and what I have ignored. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt in how I calculated 1,69,000? Just check.
Can you just repeat the reason for the fifth one, why we are ignoring it?
Okay. Reason for the sixth one is weightement charges were paid by Shri Balram. Who is Balram? See, seller. Who is the seller? Seller is Krishna. Correct. Buyer is also called as a recipient, right? Recipient of the goods.
So the fifth one, late fees for delayed payment.
Okay. Let me explain this again. Then I'll come to fifth one. This is Balram is the recipient and third party. Who is third party? Third party is Radhe. So what is happening here? Balram is paying to Radhe. So recipient is paying to third party. Correct. That's why we are included, because third party payment by recipient we also include. Okay, done. Now the doubt is for fifth one, late fees. Late fees generally we include, right? But what they have given in the explanation, the company paid the late fees. However, these charges were ultimately waived off by Krishna. Waived off means what? They have forgiven you for the late fee, and they have not charged you. The amount was refunded. Refunded means eventually the interest fee was not paid. If it is not paid, it will not come under the value. Done?
Sir,
Huh.
but this payment charges, they were already paid by Balram on
Hmm.
behalf of Krishna. So then why is he like, why does he have to pay it
Because
again?
that is increasing the value of goods. No, it's the same example of raw material. Same example of Sarika paying for 40,000, but still GST was calculated on 60,000, right? So same way, the buyer is paying for weighment charges, but that is adding to the value of goods. So any payment made by the recipient, even if recipient is making the payment, still that will be added. That was the controversial clause, that the government put.
When Balram paid to Radhe, that time he didn't pay GST.
That time no GST was paid, correct? No GST was
Only
paid.
20,000, only 2,000.
Right.
And now he's paying the GST for it.
Correct. So now when Krishna is going to sell, the actual value, the actual bill is only for 1,67,000, right? Because this 2,000 has already been paid by Balram. So the actual bill value is 1,67,000, but still the invoice will show taxable value of 1,69,000 and GST will be collected on 1,69,000 into 18%. And that 18% will be further bifurcated as CGST and SGST.
So the amount that Balram will have to pay Krishna now will be 1,67,000 plus GST.
Correct. So actual payment by Balram to Krishna will be 1,69,000 minus these 2,000. These are actually paid. These are actually paid by Balram, right? Correct. And plus this 34,000.
Okay.
Okay, clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, GST, the concept is a bit different because it is on the value of the goods, right? It is not the billable amount. So the billable amount is only 1,67,000, right? Because Balram has already paid this 2,000. So the billable amount is 1,67,000, but the taxable value of goods is 1,69,000. So GST will be collected on taxable value. Government says you guys do whatever you want in between yourself, amongst yourself, you decide whatever you want to do. We want to collect GST on the market value of goods, which is 1,69,000. Who is paying to Radhe? We don't care. Whether recipient is paying to Radhe or whether supplier is paying to Radhe, we don't care. Taxable value is 1,69,000. We will charge GST on 1,69,000. Okay, clear? So actual payment by Balram to Krishna is 167,000 plus GST of 30,420. But we don't care now because we are only focusing on GST value. We are only focusing on GST value right now. Clear? Everyone is clear with this entire question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if this subsidy is also given, if Balram is transferring this, Krishna is transferring this subsidy to Balram. If Krishna is transferring this subsidy to Balram, then Balram will pay. So if subsidy is transferred further to the customer, the actual payment by Balram will be even lower. Will be what? Will be 1,67,000 minus, what was the subsidy? 50, na? So 1,17,000 plus GST. 1,17,000 plus GST. Because see what they are given. Subsidy is directly linked to the goods supplied. Okay. Sakshi, what is the doubt? And Narendra also has doubt. We'll see both doubts.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh.
Sir, in actual payment by Balram to Krishna, it will be 1,69,000, right?
No, but these weightement charges Balram has already paid, na?
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, sir.
I think Sakshi is also the same doubt. The weightement charges of 2,000 has already paid by Balram. So why will Balram pay it again to Krishna, na? These 2,000 were paid by Balram on behalf of Krishna. Correct. So we included them for what? For taxable value. For value of goods, we included them. But when actual payment is made by Balram to Krishna, it will be 1,67,000. How this 1,67,000 came? 1,69,000 minus 2,000. 1,69,000 minus 2,000, which were already paid by Balram. And then if subsidy is transferred to the customer, the actual payment will be even lower. It will be 1,67,000 minus 50,000 ka subsidy. Understood? So I think Priyanka and Sakshi had the same doubt. Okay, next. I'll also address the doubt of Narendra. In the fifth, he's saying in the fifth adjustment, if the fee wasn't waived off, would we still ignore it? Cause GST? No. Correct. Okay. So see, Narendra has a good doubt. Narendra is saying, let us say this interest was not waived off. This interest was not waived off, and the interest was 1,000. And the question is saying the interest is inclusive of GST. Okay. So I'll take a hypothetical example, guys. I'll take point number 7. I'll take point number 7 to address his doubt. Is interest is, let us say interest is 2,000. Okay. Inclusive of GST of 18%. Okay. And this interest was not waived off. Now what will happen? Someone tell me. Should I consider, or should I ignore?
We have to consider
I have to consider
value of money.
Correct. We have to consider interest. We have to consider interest. But we ignore the GST wala part, na? We ignore
18% from 2,000.
No. See now. So now I will have to consider interest, but interest should be exclusive of GST. Interest should be exclusive of GST. Everyone agrees?
Yes, sir.
Till here, everyone has understood Narendra's doubt? Narendra is saying if this interest was not waived off, what would be the amount? So I am taking a hypothetical example. Interest is 2,000 inclusive of GST of 18%, and this interest was not waived off. So if interest is not waived off, we have to consider interest. But interest should be exclusive of GST. Now tell me what is the amount? What is the amount of interest? It cannot be 2,000 minus 18%.
So 1,695.
Okay, let us see. So it was interest plus GST of 18% inclusive of GST. Let us say interest was 100, GST is 18%, 18. So inclusive of GST will be 118, right? So 2,000 is inclusive of GST. So what is the actual interest? Actual interest will be 2,000 into 100 divided by 118. 1,694 will be the interest amount. See if you understood this calculation. This was not part of this question. This was an additional doubt. Have you understood how I calculated 1,694? Anushka, interest will not be 305. GST.
So that will be GST. Yes, I understood.
Okay. So simply, guys, instead of doing all this now, what I'll do is I'll simply tell you what is the formula for this. Whenever an amount is given inclusive of GST, I always want exclusive of GST amount, right? Okay, so exclusive of GST amount will be what? See what I have done over here. 100 divided by 100 plus rate. Here I have here I have done 100 divided by 100 plus GST rate, na? So that is what you can apply. So if you want an amount exclusive of GST will be amount inclusive of GST into 100, correct, divided by 100 plus GST rate. 100 plus GST rate. So in this question 2000 was inclusive of GST. I want exclusive amount, so that will be 2000 is the inclusive amount into 100 divided by 100 plus GST. So 100 plus GST is 18% of 100 is 18. So that will be 2000 into 100 by 11. Your exclusive amount that will be added in the taxable value would have become 1694. Narendra, doubt is clear? Okay. Write this down also, huh? Guys. Write this hypothetical example also. Write it down. Okay, I think there is one more doubt. Okay, no problem. Hypothetical. Okay, this is hypothetical. This is not in the question. Huh? All right. Good question. Done. All the concepts are clear now. Value of taxable goods. So whenever any amount that we want to consider, okay, there is an amount that we want to consider, but that amount is inclusive of GST. You can just apply this formula and you can calculate amount exclusive of GST. Okay, our taxable value cannot include GST. Huh? So if any amount is given inclusive of GST, convert it to amount exclusive of GST. And this is the formula for that. Write it down somewhere. If any amount that we want to consider is, we want to consider for taxable value is inclusive of GST, okay, we want that amount to be exclusive of GST, correct, since GST has to be ignored while calculating taxable value, right? So now you can write this formula. So amount exclusive of GST is this. Write this whole thing that I have marked in red. Write this as an additional concept. Done. Should we move ahead then, guys? Next question.
So we are writing, sir.
Okay, right, no problem. And have you also written this one, actual payment by Balram to Krishna?
Yes, sir.
So if subsidy is transferred to Balram, but see, in exam you don't need to show this. This is for your understanding. In exam you have to only show taxable value and GST calculation. That's it. So this is why some of the customers fight with the suppliers, that the billable amount is lower, but still we are paying GST on the higher amount. Okay. Is it better, guys? Today the understanding of GST is a bit better than yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because like I said, you'll need a couple of days to get the hang of this entire GST concept. Huh? You need a couple of days to get the hang of it. All right, chalo. Let's move on, guys, now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And I'm going to save these Excel sheets and give it to you. Huh? So don't worry. I'm going to save all these Excel sheets also. Okay. Let us do one more question. Let us do one more question. Question number 2. Is it the same? Okay, this has a discount in it, but let me see one more question. All right, we'll do the discount wala question. That is a better question. And the third question I can give you guys for homework. Okay, I'll drag this in the Excel sheet first, then you can try it on your own. Any doubt, guys? Any doubt till here in the taxable value? Oops. Okay, do it. Do this one. Yes, I'll be sharing Excel sheet in the group later. What I'll do is every day, see guys, what I'm going to do is every day I'm going to write it on Excel, right? So I'll save that Excel, and like I sent you an audio extract, a 10 to 12 minutes audio extract, right? That also I'll do it every day, right? So during your revision, the final day, you can just either you can go through the Excel sheets, or you can go through the audios, 10 minutes audios, right? So I'll make a Google Drive for that and I'll share it with you guys. You guys want that audio, na? 10 minutes wala audio?
Yes, sir.
Did anyone listen to it later on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And it is basically for your last day revision. Last day again, I don't think it will be possible for you to go through the entire video lectures, na? So instead of that, you guys can just revise the audios. I mean, revise your notes and go through the audios. That will be enough for the last day then. All right. Do this, guys. Calculate taxable value. $31,500 is one of the answers. Any other answer? So I will have to start with price. Obviously, price is 25,000. No problem. Price is 25,000. No problem. Now, guys, pay attention. Huh? What if this price was inclusive of GST at 18%?
So we'll do that calculation for to
Correct.
exclude the.
Then you will do 25,000 into 100 by 118.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in this case, it is excluding taxes, huh? But I'm just saying if it was including taxes, then. Okay, we are getting answers. We'll just check all the answers. Okay. So price is 25,000. I'll have to take third party inspection charges. Such charges were payable by flow, but the same have been directly paid by BP Limited to the inspection agency. These charges were not recorded in the invoice. So again, this is third party, right? Flow is the seller, and BP is the buyer. Right? So we'll take third party inspection charges. Or we'll just write inspection charges, and you can write third party payment by recipient. Who is the recipient? Recipient is BP. Right? So that is 5,000. Okay. Then freight charges for delivery of the machine. It is for the delivery at time of delivery. That also we have to include. That also we'll have to include. So any charges up to the point of delivery, right? That has to be included. So freight charges also I'm including. Freight charges is 2,000. Okay. Then subsidy received from state government. Consider or ignore?
Ignore, sir.
Correct. Government subsidy not applicable. Government subsidy not applicable. Right. Then discount.
So do we need to write that government subsidy not applicable or just leave it as it is?
Yes. You'll have to show it.
Okay, sir.
Discount 2%. Discount should be added or deducted?
Less.
Less discount. 2% on what value?
25.
Price.
Correct. 2% on the price. So 2% on price. That will be 25,000 plus inspection plus freight and minus discount. Right. 31,500 is correct. 31,500 is the taxable value. 31,500. And then you'll add GST separately. Add GST. The rate is not given. The GST rate is not given. If GST rate is given, you have to show that also. Huh?
So after calculating taxable value, do we need to show the bifurcation between CGST and SGST?
Yes. If GST is 18%, but see, if you guys know that they are both from the same state, then only you show that bifurcation. Huh? If it is an interstate, it can also be IGST. No?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Isn't third party inspection not recorded?
These charges were not recorded, so that's why we are recording it. No. They were not recorded in the invoice value. So now we have to record them.
So if it is not mentioned that
doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter whether it is recorded or not recorded. That recorded in the invoice criteria is only for discount. Huh? See here, point number 5, discount of 2% is offered on the price, okay, and recorded in the invoice. Okay, that's why we have taken the discount. If this was given, discount is not recorded in the invoice, here also we would have written not applicable. Okay, so that recording in the invoice is applicable only for discount, not for other charges.
Sir, the actual amount payable will be 31,500 minus the inspection charges, right?
Correct. Same logic. But again, you guys don't need to show it, na? You guys only need to show taxable value. Okay, done. Clear, everyone? Those who are not getting the correct answers, just check your values. Huh? If there is any doubt, ask me. I can explain it once again, no problem. Okay, done. Let's move ahead then. Okay, now I'll give one question. Let me see if you guys are able to do it. Okay, so Alpha company is selling goods to Beta company. Okay, the price of goods is 100,000, 1 lakh. Okay, then inspection charges is 2,000. Okay, price of goods is 1 lakh, inclusive of 18% GST. Okay, inspection charges is 2000. Then weighment charges is 1500. Okay, paid by beta to a third party. Okay, discount is 5%. Discount is 5%. Discount is 5%. Not recorded in invoice value. Not recorded in the invoice. Not recorded in the invoice. Subsidy from government is 4500. Subsidy from, let us say, a trust. Subsidy from a trust is 5000. Then interest is interest for late payment. Interest for late payment is, let us say, 500, inclusive of 18% GST. Then what else I can take? Penalty for late payment. Late payment is 200, waived off later. Okay, guys, Sarah, all adjustments done. Okay, do it then. And calculate taxable value, and also calculate GST payable by beta. If GST rate is 18%. GST rate is 18%. Alpha and beta are registered within the same state. Do it. Let's see how many of you get the amount correct. I want these final two amounts. Calculate taxable value and also calculate GST payable by beta. Okay, we are already starting to get the amounts. It's good, but let us check if these are correct amount or not. And don't just tell me GST, tell me CGST and SGST, because it is a intra-state sale. It is within the same state. So when that data is given, you have to tell me the bifurcation of CGST and SGST. We are getting a bit different answers. Many students are giving the answers, but I am getting different answers. Take your time. See, this will be a question worth 8 to 10 marks. This is a question worth 8 to 10 marks. So take your time. GST questions are solved within lesser time. Okay, but you need to be a bit careful while solving them. Everyone is given different taxable value. Everyone is giving different taxable value. No one's taxable value is matching. I hope you guys are solving the same question. Okay, we'll check. Take your time, guys. Don't rush into the answers. Don't rush into the answers. Okay, now I am getting a bit similar taxable values. Okay, okay. Let us check. Let us check, guys. Let us check the answers. All right. Let us check. So price of the goods. First thing, do I want price inclusive of GST or exclusive of GST?
Exclusive of GST.
Correct. Price should be exclusive. So what is the formula for exclusive? 1 lakh into 100 by 118. Everyone is clear with this concept now? Okay. Any amount that I'm writing, I always want it exclusive of GST. Yeah? I want it exclusive of GST. So what is the this thing formula? Inclusive amount into 100 plus 100 divided by 100 plus rate. So this is the price. This is the price. Inspection charges, I'll add, no problem. Inspection charges, I'll add 2000, no problem. Okay. Weightement charges also I'll add. Because it is paid by beta to a third party. It is a third party payment by the recipient. I'll add third party payment by a recipient. I'll add that also. Now, should I consider discount or should I ignore discount?
Ignore the discount.
Good. Why ignore the discount?
Because it's not recorded.
Perfect. Since it is not recorded in invoice. In the last question, we deducted discount. Because it was recorded in the invoice. In this question, it is not recorded in the invoice. That's the condition for discount. Huh? Discount will be adjusted. Discount will be deducted only if it is recorded in the invoice. Otherwise, you just show not applicable and give the reason. Everyone understood this now? Discount. Now your answers are changing. Okay, next. Subsidy from government.
Ignore.
Government subsidy. Ignore. Just ignore it. Government subsidy is ignored. Right? Subsidy from non-government.
Added, sir.
Added. Will add it. Non-government subsidies 5,000. Will add it. Interest for late payment. It is not waived off. Huh? The first one is not waived off. So we'll have to take it, right? But again, the same problem that interest is inclusive of GST. So I want an exclusive amount. Exclusive amount will be 500 into 100 divided by 100 plus GST. 423. And penalty. Should I take the penalty? I'll ignore it because it is waived off. So I will ignore it. So then I'll get my taxable value. If you understood all the this thing transactions, guys, just check. If there is any doubt, let me know. I can explain. If there is any doubt, ask me. I can explain. No problem.
Sir,
Go ahead.
if the discount was not ignored, will we take it on 1 lakh or without the GST?
Okay, so if discount is 5% recorded in the invoice value, we'll take discount on this amount, price amount, 84,745. Because if you take it on 1 lakh, that discount will also be inclusive of GST, and then again you will do the same thing into 100 by 118. So instead of take discount directly on this amount, if it was recorded in the invoice value, discount would have taken on 84,745. All right, done. Taxable value is done. Now GST is at what rate? GST is at 18%, and it is within the same state, right? So we'll take, what will take? CGST at 9%, right? And SGST at 9%, right? So that will be this amount into 9% will be CGST. This amount into 9% will be SGST. And the final amount of tax, sorry, final amount of invoice value is the total of all these three. If this entire question is clear, we have almost covered all the concepts here. We have almost covered all the concepts of taxable value in this one single question.
Sir, during the case of when the actual payment and the invoice value is different, that time two invoices will be made. One tax invoice.
No. Only one invoice will be made, and the supplier will explain to the customer how you are going to pay. So customer will never pay above invoice value. Customer will never pay above the invoice value. Customer always pays invoice value or below the invoice value. Okay.
So with the abatement charges which are there, which is paid by beta to a third party, is it like on behalf of alpha, or how is it? Because we otherwise deduct that amount, right, from our taxable value.
We don't deduct, we never deduct it from taxable value. We in the above one, why we deducted? Because we were calculating here, we were calculating actual payment value. Taxable value still remains 1,69,000 in that Balram and Krishna example. This was just for your understanding. You don't need to show this. Okay. So for your understanding, I was saying that taxable value is 1,69,000, right? And GST is so much, but actual payment is different. Okay, that is just for your understanding. This is not part of your answer. Don't show it in the answer. Okay, don't show this in the answer.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so here also, what I'll show, I'll just show taxable value and GST value, and total final value is called as the invoice value. How much beta has to pay to alpha? That is not our concern, because we are thinking from only GST point of view. We are not thinking from customer's point of view. As an auditor or when you're working as any financial analyst, you are just looking at the GST calculations. You are just checking whether GST calculation is correct or not. Because if GST calculation is wrong, the government will send the company show cause notice that why you are collecting wrong amount of GST. If you have collected lower amount of GST, you will have to pay interest and penalty to the government. Okay, done.
Sir, I have a little technical doubt. Like the invoice value and the actual will be different. So where will the difference go? Like in the books?
See, in the books, what is going to happen here in this case? Weightement charges, right? Weightement charges are already paid by whom? Beta has already paid the weightement charges, na? So now, even though invoice value is 11,0530, 1,10,530. Now beta will record what? Weightement charges of 1,500, and actual payment to alpha will be what? Actual payment to alpha will be this amount minus this amount. So payment to alpha will be shown as 109,030, and payment to that third party will be shown as 1,500. It will match with the invoice value, na?
Okay, right. Okay, so then that weightement will be expenses in our books.
Correct. So in our books, the total expense will still be 1,10,530.
Right.
Okay. Just it will be shown in different way in our books. All right, done. So taxable value, entire concept is done. The entire concept of taxable value is done. Clear? No doubt, na guys? This is very important. Taxable value question is often asked in the exam. 8 to 10 marks. This level of question will be 8 to 10 marks. All right. So valuation is done. Valuation of supply, this entire chapter is done now. Any doubt? Any doubt?
Sir, don't we have to reduce the weighment charge again, 1,500?
Where will reduce? In taxable value, we'll have to show, na?
After the invoice value.
You have to only show till invoice value. You in your exam, you have to only show till invoice value. Okay. That after that we deduct 1,500. That was for your understanding purpose.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay. So in the exam, you only show till invoice value. Huh? In the first question, the additional calculation that I had done was just for your understanding purpose. In exam, you will calculate taxable value, you will calculate GST, you will show the total invoice value. Done. This is the final answer. Final answer. Okay. Don't show how much is the amount payable by beta to alpha. You don't need to show that in the exam.
Okay, sir. Thank
because
you.
Requirement is what? Requirement was only this: calculate taxable value and calculate GST payable. Okay, done. All right. Guys, we'll take for 2 hours now. Complete 2 hours will take now. We still have 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Should I teach one more concept then?
Yes, sir.
Little tired, sir.
Little tired, but there is no other option now. You did time pass for the whole semester. Okay, and now within 20 hours we have to cover everything. Okay. So either we can do 2 hours each day for 10 days, or we can do 1.5 hours for 12 to 14 days. What do you guys want?
So it's better to finish early.
2 hours each day, sir.
2 hours each day, na?
Yes, sir.
Because see, the earlier we finish, now I think we have difference of opinion in the group chat. When are your exams starting, guys? When are your exams starting? Actual exams are starting from
30th April.
Huh?
30th April. 30th April.
30th April now, so we have enough time.
So let's do 1.5 hours.
I thought your exams are from what, 20th? Should we do 1.5 each day? Then I think
yes, sir.
Because I think yesterday the last concept of supply, I think it was a bit too much for you guys. Hai
Yes, sir.
The last half hour, because your attention span is only 1.5, I think. Okay, I think Sakshi is saying we want to complete the syllabus soon.
So if we do this fast, then we can also devote time for other subjects, sir.
But then this half hour remaining, you can devote it to other subject also, na?
That's also true. Yes.
See, I don't want to rush into. See what happens if your attention span is 1.5 hours, and then last half hour you are not understanding, then that will be a problem. Okay. So let us do, and we'll do every day, na? We'll do Sunday also. Sunday also 1.5 hours.
Okay, sir. Cool. Okay, sir.
Chalega na? So every day 1.5 hours will take. Okay. Then that will be good for you guys. And that last additional half hour, I think yesterday last half hour the replies were very low, because you guys were already done with everything till then. Or Sundays we can take for 2 hours. Sundays we can extend them. You guys tell me what to do. Are bolo fatafat. What do you guys want?
Sir, if it's 2 hours, could you give us a break in between?
Yes. If it's 2 hours, I'll give a break. So Monday to Saturday we'll keep 1.5 hours, and Sunday I'll keep 2 to 2.5 hours with break. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, chalo. 2 hours. So tomorrow 2 hours. Tomorrow 2 hours. We'll keep same time, because we had discussed 4 to 6, right? So we'll keep 4 to 6 only. Okay, because then again discussing about the timing will be a different issue. So let us stick to our 4 o'clock wala timing. Now about Monday, I think some of you guys have exams till 4:30. Is it?
Yes, sir.
After that,
4:30 to 5.
So what we can do is 4:30 to 6 we can keep, na?
So actually for this Monday, we just got a message saying that you have to attend some compulsory TY BCom ke liye some lecture or something.
It's
Some
a
What
webinar. Sir, it's a webinar, sir. We can log in and keep.
Then you can log in now and see the recording later on. Is that okay, Anushka?
Yes, sir, but we have the indirect taxes MCQ from 4:30 to 5 p.m.
On,
that 14th.
On which date?
The Monday.
Monday?
No, sir. On 13th.
What's
Sorry, sir. 13th only. 13th, yes.
13th, na? Okay. So only on that day we'll keep the class at 5 p.m. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And in the coming, so tomorrow let us keep 4 to 6, and then tomorrow we'll discuss what to do on Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So taxable value, no doubt, Nabi. This is very clear now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I hope the classes will keep getting better for you guys, because GST, it will take a bit of time. Within 2-3 days, you'll start liking the subject, hopefully. Okay. And any doubt, guys, if anyone has any doubt, you can personally message me also with the doubt. Okay, no problem. If you are, if you think that I cannot ask this doubt in the group, you can personally message me on WhatsApp later also and ask that, sir, I have not understood this concept. I can explain. And yes, I'll update about the paper pattern soon. Any doubt in the group chat? I have missed out addressing any doubt in the group chat. Just check. No, na? Sometimes what happens, I keep on speaking and then some of the doubt will go unaddressed on the group chat. All right, so done. So let's meet tomorrow 4 to 6.
Sir, approximately by when will you be starting the customs chapter?
Customs chapters, so 20 hours, na? So I was thinking 12 hours I'll keep for GST and 8 hours will be for customs.
Okay, sir.
So first 12 hours I'll keep for GST. Customs is not that much. I checked your syllabus. Customs is not that much. GST will be having more weightage. And custom is actually easy because you guys know a little bit about import export, na? So customs will be more logical for you guys. Even though you have not studied it before, you guys have heard about it somewhere or the other. So customs will be easier for you guys as compared to GST.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other discussion? Should we conclude today's session?
Yes, sir.
All right, chalo.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.